Shaun Frankson joining us this morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad you're here. Tell us about the plastic bank. What's the concept?
Sure. So at the plastic bank, we're really looking for a solution that could really help reduce poverty and plastic waste around the world.
Two huge problems.
Two huge problems, especially plastic waste is one I don't think most people realize how big the problem is. Over 300 million tons of new plastic gets made every year. And of that, almost 7 million or more ends up in the oceans. So we really started looking for the root cause as to how does it get there. And what we actually found that in a lot of places in the world, the plastic waste is just pushed into the rivers and the waterways. And it ends up going up on shore, it goes into the ocean, and it winds up on the beaches, where some beaches have more plastic than sand.
It is shocking. You know, I think for a lot of people, we had no idea until quite a few years ago, someone came out with the idea of, let's videotape this massive, it's basically a floating garbage dump out there in the ocean where a lot of this, product has amassed. People just, it was out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, exactly, and this is where we're really trying to bring it insight by really just revealing value in plastic. Right now, it gets tossed, but if we can reveal value in plastic, it becomes too valuable to throw away, too valuable to leave on a beach, and too valuable to let sit in the ocean.
But that's a huge cultural shift. I mean, we've done it here to a certain degree in parts of North America. I was in New York a couple summers ago and I was stunned at all the plastic deli containers going right into the garbage. I'm thinking, how in Vancouver do we know to rinse all that out and put it in the bags? And in New York, they're still stuffing it in garbage cans.
When I just say with cultural shift as well, it's something that the same platform doesn't necessarily work in other nations as it does here. So with the plastic bank, we're making plastic the currency. So people can actually go out, collect mixed plastics, bring it to our facility, and exchange it for the goods that they need to ascend from poverty.
Okay, so explain that further. What kinds of plastics? Anything?
Well, and this is the big difference with us as well. We have partnerships in place that actually allow us to recycle any form of plastic. So any mixed plastic can be brought to our facility in exchange for necessities, items that help lift someone out of poverty, and even 3D printed products.
Wow, when you talk about your facility, is there one base facility somewhere in the world then that you're going to ship all this to? Or are you talking about having facilities in several different countries eventually?
Yeah, so there will be facilities in different countries, and really it is that collection center, kind of the way a modern return depot looks. But again, no currency, people exchange goods for the items that they need, and it really is targeting ascending someone from that lowest level of poverty.
So how do you know what they need?
Yeah, and the needs of each person is going to be different. This is why it really becomes almost a co-op economy of one person's need is another person's entrepreneurial venture, and every location will have different things that's really holding someone into poverty. So just having that inventory of exchangeable items of just everything to check off the list to get someone out of survival mode. And a lot of it's not even just basic necessities. Some of it can be toys for children, really just ways to give people a life and also be able to have that opportunity. Where our true mission is that anyone can go out, collect enough mixed plastics that they can ascend from that lowest level of poverty.
Why?
It's really, well, we've been looking to start a different business, but it's one thing to have a social business where you don't just create a business, you actually create an impact and you can change the world. And I think through social entrepreneurship, just the fun, challenge, and reward and purpose is just being able to create a business that makes a difference. And to me, that is the point of business.
I see a huge wave in this. We've had a lot of people through here in 3 short months on this show who are doing that very thing. Mark Brand is one of them in downtown Vancouver. Lots of people. Obviously, you're part of a bigger team. How many people are working on this?
Well, right now it started with the founder, David Katz, and myself. And we have a worldwide team of experts. We have someone named Mike Biddle, who has the only factory in the world that can fully sort and mix plastics.
And where's that factory?
He has multiple locations in the world. One of the main ones in California, there's one in Asia, one in Austria. So there's different locations. And really, we're just looking for the best experts who specialize in that thing that makes our entire business model works.
Right.
And it's been such a cool thing where we can just say, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and everybody wants to help. So it's really just been having that platform to say, here's what we're doing, and everyone just asks, how can I help?
Yeah, because it sounds like a really neat idea. Do you have a country that you're targeting first? Is there a country where the need is greatest and the amount of, plastic waste is huge?
Yeah, so we're starting in Lima, Peru. There's actually only about 2% of the waste stream that gets recycled in Lima. We have some amazing partnerships in Lima that really want to see this work, really want to make it happen. And same with the poverty levels starting to get worse in Lima because a lot of people are coming down from the mountain towns into the main facility. And as well, just plastic is going into the waste stream, the beaches are having plastic washed up on it, and just there's that abundance of opportunity to use that to someone's advantage.
Why not just give them money for the plastics they give you?
And money can be a little tricky, especially it can really change the dynamic of what an exchange system is. It can become a lot more of a dangerous venture. In a lot of countries, it really can become very corrupt very quickly. But again, as a whole, if we can make plastic a currency and the exchanged currency, that's how plastic becomes too valuable to throw away. And that can be replicated anywhere in the world.
Right.
We're actually working on a concept called social plastic, which is plastic harvested by the poor or taken from the ocean. And if consumers are looking for social plastic in the products that they buy, all of a sudden we'll have this entire system where companies are looking for social plastic, consumers are looking for social plastic. We'll actually raise the value of social plastic as a currency. And this is how we reveal value in plastic.
Who came up with this?
So David Katz came up with the grand idea, and that was really just, he went to a place called Singularity University, where it's a 10-day crash course, some of the greatest minds looking to change the world. And we were inspired to do a social venture, we were inspired to really do 3D printing and recycling. And then when there, he just had enough great people's feedback, and he just took it to that next level and just came up with the idea of if plastic have value, true change will happen.
You're a very serious businessman, but you must have sort of been doing cartwheels because this is a really cool thing.
Oh, especially, I've been a social entrepreneur and really looking for that venture. It's one thing to run a business, one thing to create something, but to really have that legacy that has the potential to impact people's lives. I mean, that's, to me, why you start a business.
It's huge, yeah. So you're obviously looking for crowdsource funding. You're looking for money to get this off the ground. Where can people go to help?
That's right. So anyone can go to plasticbank.org and it'll take you right to the crowdfunding. It's through Indiegogo, and it's just an amazing thing to not just fund a company, but really be a part of change.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. Shaun, thanks for coming by.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cool, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.